So he gets the bolt trap, and that's GG because Gatekeeper says you cannot use Wings of Mercy.
I got him.
Hey, what's poppin', sexies? It's your boy here, back for some more Fire Emblem Heroes, and just like yesterday, we're going to be continuing this little journey in the week for Aether Raids. And today, my guest commentator is Marbels.
Oh, that's the part where I say something, ain't it?
Yeah.
Anyo. What's up, guys?
Alright, so we got Marbels here. We are going to continue the little bit of Aether Raids goodness. So we're going to start with the defense replays. Alright, so we actually had a rematch from yesterday. IP Cool.
Hey, it's IP Cool. I know that guy.
Yeah, I fought him yesterday and I beat him, but let's take a look at this replay here, see what happened. Alright, so... Oh, he's got Reed here with the refine. Oh, pretty interesting. This is actually pretty clutch, because my team does not have null follow-up on anybody. So, yeah, like, when Reed is not getting into a fight with someone that has null follow-up, his refine is pretty bananas. What do you think of this guy's refine?
It's nice. I mean, it's no legendary Erica, but it puts in some work, let me tell you.
Yeah, for real. I think what the real selling point to him, though, is the B skill. Just inflicting guard and the debuffs, pretty useful.
Oh yeah, the guard is actually crazy good.
Yeah, I have guard on everybody just because Witchy Wand is basically guard, so... Yeah, the Witchy Wand tech is pretty nice against Edelgard, or not Edelgard, but Theorm with her Ice Mirror. So that's why I have
you're
that.
the first person that I've actually seen other than me actually try that. If you, I think you have me added, but if you look at my defense, I made like something new because Elamine basically broke every single defense team imaginable, and like literally nothing works anymore.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I feel like she's a little bit overrated. I know she's really good. I'm not saying she's bad or anything, but I feel like we're eventually going to get to the point where people just figure it out and they just team up their defenses a little bit differently. All right, we got Mirabilis, Ashura, and Gunthra with close foil and +2 merges. Okay. Oh, this is a pretty nice combo with Gunthra and Harid for the double debuffing effects there.
Yeah, you hit a wide amount of units with that.
Yeah, it's the same reason why I like Reeves so much. Their effect, that the way they inflict guard and the debuffs is so easy. I think you ran Reeve in some of your live streams too for Summoner Duels, didn't you?
Oh yeah, Reeve Gaming, he kicks ass.
He's awesome. I love that guy. Alright, so Reed versus Lyscythia. Man, this guy is really tanky on res if he's able to take Lyscythia on like that.
Yeah, surprisingly more tanky than I expected.
Yeah, and then... Alright, over here, Gunthra beating Lake Jarn. Alright, so he got past turn 1. That's basically the only turn that's not really that safe. So, typical 4-lane cav line, once you get past turn 1, it's pretty easy after that.
Yeah, if you get the really good setups, usually turn 2 is the hard turn. Especially when you gotta do cleanup and grab pots.
Yeah, the pots are the hardest thing against cav lines, because you're basically killing all their units before you can get to the back. Alright, so Gatekeeper not really doing much because he's not using Wings of Mercy on his team. Did you summon on the Elamine banner, by the way?
I did. I picked up one copy. I think it was like the only thing I got off that banner.
Okay.
And that was the Spark.
Oh,
so yeah.
Alright, so you do have the Fate Pass then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying my best not to get the Fate Pass, because honestly, I don't feel like it's worth it, even with the Spark, but I just wanted a copy of Theorm to give Hardy Fighter to my Brave Hector. So I summoned on the banner.
Oh lord, one of those.
Yeah, you already know how it go. And I was
tired of it. Oh my god. literally every vector now is like a +10 with Aegis Hardy Fighter in Summoner's Duels.
Yeah, and
It's like the worst experience imaginable.
Yeah,
like literally every single one of them is the exact same build with Deflect Magic, by the way.
Yeah, but that's kind of where we're at in the game, though. Like, how else do you defend against some of these crazy range threats? Like, you got Yuri, you got Gunthra, like Lyscythia or Winter Lyscythia. We have Ninja Korin. There's so many brave attacking mages now, and it's just nuts. Like, unless you have Hector with that build, it's really tough to defend against these guys.
Well, in my opinion, I feel like save skills in general have slowed the game down a little bit too much. The thing is, it's one thing to build against those units, but when you can shut down an entire, like, half the cast and, like, with, like, no effort, it feels a little bit too much. Like, okay, it'd be cool if Vector was like, okay, you can defend against the vast majority of range units, but you can't just absolutely shut them down with absolutely no recourse, where it's like, wow, you might as well not have a range unit on your team, and that's how it feels. But it also slows the game down, because the only way to, like, run into a Summoner's Duel team is, like, to have, like, everybody just hover around the far save unit, and then you rush in with everything else, and then you use your Kanto bullshit to walk back, and then you basically hit shit for free because save skills allow that for you, and that just turns the game into a slogfest, and it's very slow, and it's not very fun to play with or against.
Yeah.
Like, for what it's worth, I actually have the same absolute garbage cancer vector build as everyone else. So, I'm not one to talk, but
I mean, that's
got first-hand experience of, like, just how bad or how, like, unfair some of these strategies are. It's like, especially when you're using them yourself, and you're like, you know what, this isn't very fair.
And the thing is, it's like you almost don't even have a choice, because if you don't degenerate into running that type of stuff, you're just gonna get killed by all the other nonsense.
Exactly. The game is already solved to the point where it's like, what's the point of running anything else?
Yeah, like, you have to run
So,
Yuri.
can I even blame them for running? Can I even blame you or anyone else for running that mess? No, not really.
Yeah,
that's just how the game is.
That's just what works, so we gotta do it. Alright, I just wanted to quickly recap where his fence was, and it looks like we are hitting it with the catapult. I don't know what it is with the slot 2 catapult, but I always get the fences. So, pretty good there. Alright, shoutouts to IP Cool once again. Alright, let's take a look at...
I use slot 5 myself, actually, for catapult.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the other place where it is, like, over here, right? Yeah, it's either here or over there. Alright, so this guy, he's got Ninja Lin, Ashura, Hatari Azura, we got Brave Erica, Duo Peony, and oh my god, this is a wind sweep team. Or, yeah, like a Wings of Mercy, Gale Force. I'm hitting his catapult, or I'm hitting his fence with the catapult, so he has to do something on turn 1. Let's see what happens. So he gets the Bolt Trap, and that's GG, because Gatekeeper says you cannot use Wings of Mercy.
I got him.
Yeah, that's what I like about Gatekeeper on these Cavline teams, is because you can't really player phase if he's there. Because you can't use Wings of Mercy, so you have to try to bait it. And then, is it safe to bait units like this? I don't know, man. So yeah, this is a pretty good example of why I have Gatekeeper on the team. Glad that he was actually able to do something. Alright, so let's head on over to the fights now. I'm going to do 2 fights. I'm not going to use the boost. We're just going to do 50 apiece here. Alright, first up, we got some Japanese dude with... You got Ascended Fiorm, Legendary Sigurd. You got Lyscythia, Seiros at +1. No weapon at all on Mirabilis, Thracer, and then Robin at +7. Honestly, this looks like a pretty easy save team. Just gonna run typical save skill nonsense and probably beat this.
Yeah, it looks pretty free.
Yeah, I'll go with Hector and Fjorm, or not Hector, Surtur and Fjorm. And then you shouldn't unequip weapons on any units, in my opinion, because it just makes it easier to get the pots. Like, I just save Mirabilis for last and free pots for me, so...
Yeah, what I do for this team, I would just kill everything except Mirabilis, and yeah. You can basically sweep teams like this because you have one less target. Like, I run like a Lenja team, so I have very easy time just running into things on like turn 1. Also for Astra, I use Yuri because I just felt like having an alternative team. So I'll just rush in on like the first turn, or maybe the second if I feel like I want to like cheese it with the gate or whatever.
Yeah,
but a lot of people run like Ascended Fjorm, so it's usually a lot more useful to just run in turn 1 and just kill it immediately.
Yeah. We saw that a lot yesterday, where I was just player phasing most of the teams we fought. So, I mean, today doesn't look like it's going to be too offensive. Maybe we'll get another save skill fight after this one. Yeah, so, I mean, this guy had Legendary Sigurd on his team, and I feel like Legendary Sigurd's existence was the reason why we got the fence in the first place. So, it just goes to show, like, they're not very good at balancing the meta, in my opinion, because they just released this absurdly busted shit, and then they're like, oh, oops, we maybe shouldn't have did that, so let's release something else that's equally as broken, like the safety fence that can stop Sigurd specifically, but then it's also way too powerful against all the other defense teams, in my opinion. So, like, is that real balance? I don't know. What do you think?
No, not even close.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I get because this is like, you know, typical Soulless Gotcha nonsense. Is like, but you can't nerf things, right?
Yeah, they can.
Or at least they're not going to do it because, you know, that's going to mess with the bottom line. They can't just, like, they just can't do honest balance because, you know, that's going to mess up with their playing players. People who paid, like, some odd hundreds to maybe thousands to, like, make a +10 of a really broken unit because they're broken. It's like, yeah, you're not gonna do it because, unfortunately, yeah, balance, blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah. I
don't want to get too hard into it right now.
Yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying, but I believe there's some kind of law in Japan about gachas that you're not allowed to nerf something because it like falls under the sense of false advertising almost, where people spent money to get this thing and then you change the way it works, so it's like they're not allowed to do that.
That was mostly a rumor. There's no actual law against specifically that, but if they radically, what it is like they radically change a character from like how they initially function, it has to be like a radical enough change. Like, let's say, let's make a quick example. Let's say they made it so that Brave Lyscythia always had her Brave effect, regardless, and then they realized that was an error, and like they decided you're not supposed to have like a Brave effect at all, but all the advertisements and stuff, they show it like as, oh, this is another colorless Cav Brave Tome or whatever. But then they nerf it to now, like, she never had that in the first place. That would be too radical a change in false advertisement. And and that kind of nerf where they would fix that, you know, that would fall against that, like, particular kind of case.
Yeah, gotcha.
It's that kind of thing where it's like, you can't just make willy-nilly changes like that.
Okay, we got Brave Marianne on this map. Actually a pretty good unit, I would say. Kind of slept on.
Better than people say.
Yeah, for sure. Like, people really underestimate. What makes her good is the 70% damage reduction she gets. There, we got this guy over here. Wow, I'm surprised he has a +1, though. Normally, they just get him a +10 because he's free.
Grails cost too much.
Did you build Yenfei, by the way?
Nope.
You didn't? Oh, man, nice. I feel like such a scrub because I built him on the spot. I made him +10 as soon as they added him to the shop.
Yeah, I don't be having grails for that, man. I still got a +10 Scion Nana. And there's also Reeve, and then there's also a dozen others. Like, I don't keep grails at all.
Yeah, the Grails, they drip feed them so bad. It's like, how many do we need to get a +10? Like 2,700-ish? Something like that?
It's like 2,000 something for like a GHB, and then like 3K for like for Tempest Trial units.
Yeah, because we
It's a little less now because now they're putting them in that like Ephemer rotation, which is
Yeah.
really good. So now you only got to +9 them, which cuts down the cost by like 500.
Yeah. You still gotta wait for them to run, though, as an ephemera.
Yeah.
So, like, most people, if they just want to do it right away, they still have to spend the maximum amount. Alright, so this guy, actually, I probably should have used a different team, to be honest, because, I mean, Aether does actually beat Surtur if he initiates on me, so what I might do here is player phase Olivia, and then I'm gonna like have save skill units around her because I don't want this guy to dance.
Well, there's no refresher, so I mean, well, once you kill Olivia, that is. So you can honestly just hit and run her with like Thor or something. Do you run Guild Force for Thor?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
What I was gonna do was just actually like hit and run with Azura, because this unit hits so hard even though she's a dancer. I'm sure she can player phase this Olivia and then get out of the way with Fartrace.
Oh yeah, that's also an option.
Alright, let's give this a try. Let me also make sure I'm not gonna get like attacked when I'm not expecting it. Alright, now we're good there. I'm gonna need to get these two into the action. I probably should have broke that Dark Shrine, but whatever. I have Regan too. Maybe I should have used Regan to kill Olivia instead. How do you like this dancer, by the way? This Azura that they made?
Oh, it'd be very nice if they would just delete it from the game. That's cool.
Yeah, because we totally needed a Cav dancer that had gray waves, right?
Yeah, like, honestly, just fuck off with that shit. And then it had... never mind, I'm not gonna say too much, I'm not gonna be too mean today. But,
no, I mean, go ahead, dude. Just give us your take.
Look, I'm just saying, you know, it'd be very nice if they would make some dancers that were, like, likable characters or something. I don't know. Who the fuck likes Azura anyway?
Alright, I mean, there are people that like her.
Those people, we call those individuals with no taste.
Ooh, scathing.
XD.
I'm just gonna player phase as Marianne because she can be scary when she initiates. Actually, I don't even know.
Yeah, the funny 70 damage reduction.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if like Fiorm would be able to beat her.
No,
there.
Marianne actually beats her.
Yeah, so let me just get rid of her while I have the chance to. I guess we'll save Duma for the end so we can break the pots.
It's super funny though, like damage reduction. I might meme about Azura, but dude, damage reduction has to be like the worst mechanic this game has ever made, in my opinion.
I think Kanto is, but that's... I don't know, what is actually worse, Kanto or damage reduction?
The combination of the two, but as individual pieces, it is definitely damage reduction.
Yeah, because it just dominated the game. It still dominates the game, even today. It's, like, since they introduced damage reduction, it's always been so good.
It's honestly too good, especially when they start combining it with like other stuff. Like Etri has to be like the most garbage thing I've ever had to grace this game with. Like just the combination of auto double Kanto with fucking damage reduction. Well, it's like who comes up with this shit? Are you telling me that I can just randomly sit this unit in front of like a +10 red unit and still live for like absolutely no reason?
Yeah. Do you run close counter on Atri?
I don't run it with her yet because most people just run ranged units in Summoner's Duels. But like, I've honestly considered it. But I think dumping into her speed, giving her like 50, 60 speed with an auto double is like way more cancerous than, say, putting on close counter.
Yeah, I personally like close counter on her because she actually beats like most of the melee units because of her B skill. So she gets the damage reduction and the bonus attack based on whatever damage she reduced. So
even that too, like they said, hey, Nyx was kind of cool, but what if we made it worse? And then they said, yeah, here's Etri.
Yeah, basically.
What were they thinking with that unit? Holy shit. She's like way too good.
And then her like intro, or not intro, but her, I guess, outro to book 5, that little video they did where she...
Bro, that shit was funny as fuck, though. I was like, God, I really want to like this character, because this character is like my kind of shit, especially... You look at her like special animation with that fucking face, bro. That shit look clean as hell. I'm like, yo, this is my kind of character. And then you use this unit and it's like, oh my god, what the fuck is this game's problem? He's gonna keep restoring loop. You should probably...
Yeah, okay, as long as I get the pot, it's not a big deal.
2 move with Azura, then 1 more over to sit on the gravity tile.
Yeah. Actually, do I have... Yeah, I'm in Wings of Mercy range with Azura, actually, so... Especially with double freaking Fury there, so... I can break the pots right now, if I'm not mistaken. Just do this. Actually, I might have jumped the gun there.
I was hoping you would like go 1 over and hit the gravity tile, so even if it were like real, you could have just like smited up or something.
All right, let me see here. What I was thinking to do was just like break the fountain with Plumeria, but I didn't think that through well enough. I was just like speeding through this fight. She is going to die if she gets hit, so...
Well, you can probably find a way to chauffeur Surtur all the way up there or something. Or at least 1 tile to the right of the gravity tile.
Hold on a sec. Wait. If I have... This weapon stops them from doing a follow-up, right? Or this skill here. Neutralize effects that guarantee foes follow-up. So he's not going to be able to use Bold Fighter if I bait him with Fiorm. So, like, if I get Surtur to... use protection or near save on Regan, like in that tile, he's gonna try to attack Fiorm then, and then she can live him.
Probably, most likely.
Alright, and then Surtur is protecting these two. Okay, so I think this is okay. Yep.
There you go. Nice and easy.
Yeah, there's always a way. You just gotta think.
Yeah, but thinking's hard.
Everyone wants to just eat glue. I'm gonna kill this guy with Azura.
Toxic. How dare you.
Okay, so... I mean, that wraps us up for the fights, but there's still a couple things I want to talk to you about, like... The Nintendo Direct that we got today, for example. What do you think of that?
I certainly enjoyed it, especially as a person who likes his tactical RPGs. Everything from more advanced war stuff to triangle strategy, even mission first, all that good stuff, man. Let me tell you, if you like some tactical RPGs, you're eating good today.
Yeah, for real. There was also the Kingdom Hearts trilogy, like, in... I think it was 1 pack for the Switch? Or was it separate games, or was it like 1 pack?
It's both. You can get them separately, but the pack is like available or something like that. I wasn't paying too much attention. I'm not too big on Kingdom Hearts. It's like it's alright.
Yeah, well,
Now,
a lot of people
Klonoa,
love
on
it.
the other hand,
Yeah, Klonoa, that came out of nowhere.
dude, Klonoa, Live Alive. Well, I always pronounce it Live Alive, but
Yeah, same here.
whatever. That one, you know, fucking Chrono Cross. Chrono Cross is like really pretty good. Yeah, it's not as amazing as Chrono Trigger was, and that's why people kind of give it a little bit of shit. But that game kicks ass, and when it come out, I hope y'all play it because that game is good.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't played either of them actually, Chrono Cross or Trigger, but I've heard.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I've heard so many good things about both. So.
Dude, Chrono Trigger is literally Kino. You need to get on that.
And I think Toriyama did the art too, so it's like
Yeah,
Dragon
that's
Ball.
Toriyama, right?
Yeah, you could tell his style is so easy to pick up on.
Yeah, he did that. He also did art for another game called Blue Dragon. And he also did Dragon Quest,
of course, Dragon Quest. Yeah, so what did you think of Fire Emblem Warriors 2? Three Houses Boogaloo.
I kind of want to see what the story is like. It may look like it might be the quote unquote golden route or whatever, or people like to call it, or the Revelations route or whatever. It's like that could be kind of interesting, but we'll just have to see. I was hoping it was going to be a little more like Age of Calamity, where we got to see some stuff we didn't get to see in the main game. Like maybe this game takes place in that 5-year gap or something. Like that could be really cool.
I think
like, so we already know how that's going to end. So
yeah.
You basically get to see Edelgard's rise to power, and that sounds really fucking fun.
Yeah.
Also, the gameplay looks solid. It actually looks like a good Warriors game for once.
Yeah.
Do you ever play a lot of Warrior games?
No, but I have played Hyrule Warriors and the first Fire Emblem Warriors, and I thought both were fun. They're just I can't call them good games. They're just mindless fun. You just button mash. But I mean, it's still like kind of therapeutic in a way to just like mow down 500 enemies with one guy in relatively decent graphics, I would say. So the one thing that pissed me off though about the first one is that they didn't have Ike in Fire Emblem Warriors 1. And that's all I wanted to do was just play as Ike and kill like 500 to 1,000 people with Ike and just be a badass.
Yeah, I wanted Hector and Ephraim, but the game, they said I don't know what their excuse was, but it was some real dog shit. I remember that vividly. It was like, oh, but what about the other wars? What about Roy and Elliewood? And it was like, oh, we don't want to have like too many sword units in the game. And then they proceed to release nothing but sword units.
Yeah, Lynn.
Like they got Lynn later, but
yeah,
but no Roy and Elliewood. Come on, it was like, okay, you don't want to put in like more sword units. There's Robin, there's Hector, there's Ephraim. Yeah, you're kind of fucking up here. It's like. There were plenty of like non-sword things they could have just put in that game. It was like, but okay.
Yeah, were there even like lance infantry units in that game? I feel like the only lance units were the Pegasus Knights, or I think there was Obero, right? I believe Obero was one of the DLC characters later.
I didn't play the DLC, so I wouldn't know. But
okay.
Yeah, the base game had like no lances.
Yeah, and then. Yeah, they gave us Obero from the DLC, so it's like, why couldn't they give us Ephraim or someone more...
Like... I know, right? Hold on, I got a phone call.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
And I'm just gonna answer that later. Never mind.
Alright, it's all good. Yeah, so, I mean, them announcing Three Houses as Fire Emblem Warriors 2, I don't know, like... I was kind of just hoping for a new title to get announced, which at this point, I'm almost damn near sure it's going to be just Fire Emblem Three Houses 2, because they just can't stop shoving Three Houses in our face. So, like, typically they do...
I mean, can you blame them? It's actually... I mean, as a game, it's actually kind of good. So, yeah, and then, it's sold like crazy. It's basically... Okay, what if Fates didn't actually suck ass, but also sold well?
Yeah. No, I mean, dude, deep down for me, it's just Tellius all day. Tellius is still my favorite Fire Emblem game, so, well, the two-piece combo of 9 and 10, but I enjoyed Three Houses so much when I played it the first time, but
Yeah.
the problem for me is that's...
Oh god, the replayability is awful, by the way. I could not play that game more than twice. I tried.
I did one route. I did Crimson Flower. That was it. That was the only route I played. And everyone gets salty about that because they're like, oh, that's the fake route. That's not the real, like, events that happened in the game. I'm like, dude, I wanted something different out of it. I didn't want the same old, like, happy ending. I wanted something like that, like Crimson Flower, that was so different from what we usually get in Fire Emblem. So, yeah, I don't regret my choice to play that as the only route.
Honestly, that's a valid opinion. For me, it was like I did Golden Deer and then I did Crimson Flower because like the other routes are like a little bit more the same for Golden for Golden whatever. But I was like, you know, this game would benefit from not a golden route where everybody's happy in the end, but a mixture between some of these things. Like, I have my theories. You know, maybe one day I'll post them, but I think the short end should have been like, sure, Edelgard might lose, but the ending you get maybe a little bit more on the bittersweet side. Like, not everything is going to work out. Like, not everybody has to live, but there's probably a better paced route where certain key characters will still die. Like, I think the ideal ending would be something like, oh, you beat Edelgard, you save Rhea, you kill Nemesis with Rhea for the second time, and you basically get to close out her entire story, and then boom, she goes crazy, and now true final boss is actually still Rhea, and then you kill Rhea, and then you basically create an entirely new Fodlan where there's no Edelgard, there's no Rhea, but you still get like the best possible ending. And like I think that would be crazy as hell, but I think it would like
that's like just hearing you say that was like, oh shit, there's like 10 different plot twists there.
Yeah, you get it's like the combination. You get to see Edelgard's entire ambition. You get to see what happens with the Slithers. You get to get an ending that feels like everything you did paid off.
Yeah,
and that's what I wanted out the story. But that's the story. As for the game itself, the game is like the game is solid. And you know, honestly, can I really blame them for like having some Three Houses favoritism when like IS hasn't seen this kind of success in like quite a while? I mean, yeah, Mercedes hot though. That's all I'm at.
Yeah.
Shout out to King of Point.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah. So, I really think Three Houses 2 could be a thing because it's very rare that we get a Fire Emblem game without a sequel. Like, we got 1 and 3, we got 4 and 5, we got 6 and 7, 9 and 10. Fates was 2 games in 1, and then they had Revelations later, so it's like, I think it would be odd if Three Houses is the only game of its region, like Fodlan. I think we might be coming up on Fodlan 2, possibly, after... Like, I wouldn't have said that before seeing the Nintendo Direct, but then seeing them just push for Three Houses again with another Fire Emblem Warriors game, I really think it's likely that the next main entry is going to be another game in Fodlan.
Honestly, I would love that. Fodlan, like, the world building for Fodlan is actually pretty nice. So, I'd love to see everything. I kind of do want, like, a canon ending just so we can have, like, a sequel that takes place later, or you get to see like some of the characters from the previous game like carry on, like you get to play as their kids or something, I don't know, or something even further into the future where it's like we get to see like maybe one of the routes that decided to be canon was like the Slithers are actually still alive and they have like their crazy Magitech and it's gone even crazier now, and now we start seeing maybe not guns, but like we still get to see more like the magic nukes, man. Like I was like, this is where Fire Emblem needs to go next. Like I want to see more of this. I want that Final Fantasy VI vibe, but everyone's just too busy playing 7.
Okay, dude, I'm already like thrown off by the quasi guns. I don't want to say like full out guns, but we basically have guns in Fire Emblem Heroes with Book 5 with like Regan and all the machines and stuff. And to me, that's already like a little over the top for me. I like the medieval setting with the swords and the lances and shit. That's what I'm into it for.
Yeah, I kind of want to see something like, not quite railgun, but you get to infuse your thunder magic into a gun, and you get to shoot whole ass lightning bolts out of like a Mag 10 or something.
I mean, when
you get to we get to keep the swords and shit, but like we start bringing in more elements because like it's been like 16, 17, 18 games and like a medieval-ish setting. I think we've had our fill of that, in my opinion.
Yeah,
we could put in a little more tech stuff.
Yeah,
even not just
enough.
Tech stuff, just a little more. Even if it's just like true steampunk, like Book 5 was like, here's an idea of steampunk, but not quite steampunk. We're not there yet. We don't want to. We'll just slap some gears onto some objects and call it steampunk. It's not true steampunk yet, but if they were to go a little further into that, like that would be very fun. I would like to see more of that.
Have you played Codename Steam, by the way?
Like a demo. I never got to play the whole game.
Okay,
but the game is solid.
I played it. I love that game so much. I don't know why people hate on it so bad, because it feels almost like a mix of Advance Wars and like some new style of game that they tried to come up with, but they were just testing the waters. And then what kills it for me is that it didn't do good at all. The game bombed, so they're probably not going to do more stuff like that. Even though I thought it was a good idea. I think they should go out of their comfort zone a little bit more often if that's the type of thing we're going to get out of it,
Yeah, that's fine. Every new iteration has like some sort of experimentation. It's like, that's kind of why everybody's like so split on like their favorite game, because like there's something different in like every game that behaves like totally different from the next one. And it's like, and then you start to wonder, like, why is everybody still split on like certain games? It's like, well, that's why. It's like everything's like different. Like no set of games is the same. Like for me, my personal favorite is the GBA trilogy. Well, but mostly 7 and 8. But nothing else in the series plays like 7 and 8 to me. So
yeah,
when I go out of my comfort zone and play the other games, I'm gonna not have as good as a time, because like when I think of Fire Emblem, I think of what I started with, and that's how a lot of people are.
Yeah,
they're like, I started with Awakening Fates, or I started with Three Houses. When they go back and they get a completely different experience, they either may love it or they may hate it. That's why people are like so hard on like young girl games, because like they are absolutely radical in comparison to like some of the stuff we get today.
Yeah,
speaking of Yugro, I am trying to do an Iron Man of FE4. That shit's going pretty rough because it's hilarious. But dude, I'm trying that out.
That game is a freaking marathon. The chapters are just like an Iron Man on their own. Yeah. Nah, but I love FE4. I would agree with what you said. The GBA trilogy is like the pinnacle of the series, I would say, because dude, those sprite animations were so good back then. Like,
nothing has come close to like the level of perfection that they did with how that game is.
Yeah, no,
I mean, maybe story-wise, you could probably say 6 and 7. Just 7. Not the best, but everything else, maybe aside from the support grind, is basically what I think of when I think of Fire Emblem. Just the peak. Yeah. None of the crazy over-toolings of skills or something like that you see in the later games. Or even the older ones, like...
Yeah, 4 had skills too, so it's like...
Yeah, 4 and 5 have skills, but they're like... I don't know. I like the idea behind things like Pursuit and Adept, but I feel like not allowing your character to just naturally double when they're faster just feels off to me.
Yeah.
But but again, that comes down to like personal preference or gripes or whatever. So it's like it's not a bad mechanic, mind you. It's just different from what you've seen before.
Yeah.
Because most people are playing the series backwards and not forwards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so a lot of stuff gets lost in translation. Like even me, I remember I played Fire Emblem 7 like I want to say maybe 2 years ago. I just wanted to go back to it, and I was so thrown off that cavalry units could move through trees because I'm so used to playing Fae at this point. I'm like, wait a second. All of a sudden these units move through trees and they move like 20 spaces a turn. It's pretty nuts.
I know, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, there are also people who start with Fae and then branch out. That's gotta be even more of an experience for people.
Yeah. Nah, but...
What do you mean mages can actually counterattack from close range by default?
Yeah, I mean, Fae is such a streamlined game. They tried their best to make it as simplified as they could, but then once they threw Kanto into it, I feel like they were getting a little bit too over the top there.
Okay, you know what? I think I kind of get where you're coming from about Kanto, because if you think about how Fae was supposed to be presented, it was supposed to be like super simple, but now you look at some of the new mechanics in this game and it's like reading the kind of reading that you would see on like a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone loves to make that joke, but
yeah,
it's true. The game was supposed to be a lot more simple than this. Like, you know what? Summoner's Duel, I like the idea. I feel like for someone like me who wants their competitive edge sated, it was a good idea. But you know what would have been better? PvP in 3 houses. Put it in a game that actually has like the more intricate mechanics already built in, and not a simplified version that comes down to the game already basically being a solved concept. Like, you run one team or you run one comp and that should be it, and like nothing else will beat that except for variations of like the same comp that you have. And that's where it is, where like the Far Save Vector with Erica Kanto and Etri Garbage and stuff like that is like, there's literally no point to running anything else if you're trying to win. And and I feel like this game is too simple for such a complicated PvP system.
Yeah, that's pretty much...
something like 3 houses are like could have like had things where they actually decided to do balance and stuff like that. You don't have things like savior skills, or you do have like a little bit of Kanto here and there, but it's like it's nothing too extreme. Like, that would be an easier balance for PvP there than it would here in Fae. And I mean, most people are like against PvP in general for Fire Emblem, but that's because they're like casual players and like they're not interested in that kind of thing. And you know, that's fair. It's like, if you're not interested in it, then like, you know, I see no reason to push it onto you. But at the same time, it's like there's a market for it, and I would love for that market to be tapped into.
Yeah. No, but I totally get what you're saying with the like casual players being forced to play competitive modes like this, because we just got Summoner Duels R, and we're about to get Summoner Duels S, and while those modes are up, I don't know why they're only up for 3 days, mind you. Like, they give us 3 freaking days to do however many fights. It's just stupid. But they give us that mode, and then they take away some of the other modes that people are, like, more comfortable with doing if you're a casual player. Like, Arena Assault, for example. It's just an easy way to get rewards. Like, you see over here, you get 30 refining stones, 30 coins, and then like over 5,000 feathers. That's pretty decent rewards for most people. And for them to just take that away for almost no conceivable reason to force people to play the PvP mode that not everyone enjoys, I think that's where things get a little bit lost in translation there.
I've come to the conclusion that actually nobody enjoys this mode. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I think even talking with like other WoW players, they're like, it's not fun. And I'm like kind of in that in-between spot where it's like a casual player in WoW when it comes to like spending money on this game, and it's like, I don't enjoy it. The whales don't want to fuck with it. The casual players absolutely don't want to fuck with it. And it's like, I don't want to fight other people and get like absolutely no reward for it because I get my ass beat like 3 times in a row because people are running some absolutely crazy shit that I have no access to. And it's like, and then they take Arena Assault away from those people because why?
Yeah, exactly. Why?
This, like, as much as I would have, as much as I should have been enjoying this mode because, you know, like competing, but, you know, they're doing it at the expense of like their casuals, and it's like, I'm not trying to bully casuals. Like, I want to beat other sweats, but if all I'm getting are like the casual beatdowns, and then like even the sweats don't want to play the game because the game just doesn't really function well for like for a PvP setting, it's like, what's the point of this mode, dude? You can't even do rankings more after you like lose 2 or 3 times. It's like, why?
Yeah.
It's hard to fuck with this mode. That's why I feel like this mode's dead on arrival. Like, you look at like the numbers and like for content creators who have like decided to make any Summoners Duel content, that shit does not hit at all. Like, you have no idea how badly I am hemorrhaging subs on that PvP content.
Really?
Like, nobody wants to fuck with this mode, dude.
Wow.
It's a shame. It was an idea, but you know,
I mean,
it's not happening.
That's why I think they hit lightning with the Summoner Duels regular, because it's like there's no consequence. You just play and you get the favorite levels, which has some really good rewards, and it's not like it's
you get them once and then that's it. Sure, but
yeah,
you know, once you're done with it, if you're not a fan of the mode, you can just like ignore it. But I guess they don't want people to ignore it, so it's like, yeah, they could have added like a ranking based on favor, so like at the end of the week, like, you can get some additional rewards, and that would have been like nice for people who wanted to play it constantly. But anybody that wanted to be one and done could be done with it, or maybe they can go up a little further, but like at their own pace.
Yeah.
And you know, I guess they wanted to do the limited losses thing so people don't get burnt out, but they actually had the opposite effect.
That's not
like,
how you do it.
That immediately just killed everything that you could have done for that mode. Like, not only are the people who wanted to grind already done with the mode, but the people who wanted to go slowly can't even play the mode because they get their ass beat too many times. And it's like, why?
Yeah, have you heard?
Who come up with this shit? Huh?
Have you heard also about the glitch where you can like surrender a fight and you still get the victory somehow? There's like some weird like reset glitch that I think you close the app and then on the opponent's screen it shows up like, you disconnected, you lose this fight.
I think that one was a rumor. I thought that was real at first, but like I had to really get into looking at how like the game does its like connections or whatever. Like, if you back out of a match like that, if you try to attempt that, like, it will still give the other player a win because like you personally disconnected. And if you fuck up, like, you know, if you take too long trying to do the exploit, it'll just give you a loss, and you know, that's not really good. So I wouldn't try to do that either if I was anyone. So no, don't even try that. That was fake. Don't even do it.
Okay, that I haven't been like fully informed about that. I just heard a couple of people say it. So, all right, it's nice to.
Oh yeah, Reddit rumors are fun.
Yeah. All right,
Don't go on Reddit.
I think that's a good place to wrap. We rambled on quite a bit there. I didn't think we were gonna go that much into Summoner Duels and all that, but it's been a blast.
A good ramble.
Yeah, we gotta ramble.
Do more collabs.
Yeah. So it's been a blast having you on, man. I don't know why we haven't collabed sooner because I don't know. I feel like we kind of clicked there today. So thanks so much for being on.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude. Anytime. If you want to collab with me on anything you're doing, then just shoot me a PM. I'll definitely be there.
Sure, man. I tend to not approach people, so maybe that's why we haven't got to chat too much.
Yeah, but I
But yeah,
mean,
man.
I kind of instigated this one because I was doing this weekly AR thing. I was like, it might be cool to get some people on that I haven't had on the channel before. So, yeah. Alright, so definitely, guys, check out Marbels' channel. If you haven't already, there's going to be a link to his channel in the description of the video. So, definitely check him out. Definitely sub. He is another good Fae content creator. So, I think that's going to wrap us up for today. Come back tomorrow and we'll have another Aether Raids daily session with another guest commentator on if I can find somebody else. So that's all for now. This is your boy TACHO signing out. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will catch y'all again on the flip side.
Peace out, boys.